maybe just start out kind of telling about you and a little bit about who you are and why we're here doing this today as well.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm Nicole. Um I was a teacher for a few years and I still am a teacher, but now I'm kind of transitioning into more of a an art therapist role. I'm in grad school right now, but the reason I'm here is because I was experiencing some intense digestive issues, and that was kind of putting me down every day and almost for a year. And I kind of started to notice a really big pattern, and I was feeling a little bit unsure how to handle that. And I found Leah through a mutual network, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad that that we found each other, and it's been such an awesome experience for me working with you as well and watching you over the last few months. It's been really amazing. So when you first reached out to me, I'm curious if you want to talk a little bit about, what you were hoping to accomplish. You started out with pretty intense digestive symptoms and um, uh, feelings of just feeling overwhelmed and not clear how to get better and what to do next. So when you first reached out, like what were you hoping to get out of our work together?
When I first reached out, I didn't really know what to expect. I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I'm gonna have to like not eat a lot of food. So I was feeling like that felt like the hardest part, one of the hardest parts for me. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to like, you know, give up all the foods that I love.
Yeah.
But it ended up being so much more than that, and supportive in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I guess what I was expecting is I was just hoping to get some help and some support and some answers, and that's kind of why I reached out, is because I felt like I was at a loss. I tried a bunch of different things on my own, and I just kept coming up short, and I was just
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is exhausting to be in that
Mhm.
place and not know what to do to feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you were able to accomplish what you hoped to coming in to the
Absolutely.
program?
Absolutely. And more, I feel
Awesome.
like. Mhm.
Yeah, tell me more about that. Where do you feel like like what's the and more piece of
Yeah.
it? Like I know you've had relief with your digestive
Mhm.
symptoms, but what else have you noticed has shifted in your life? How else has it impacted your life?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a huge emphasis on like my symptom relief, because that was just like, man, that is one of the best parts. And I feel so grateful that that was taken care of. And I mean, there's all these other pieces that go along with that. I feel like there's other like elements of my life that have to do with stress and my work, and just like other patterns and habits that kind of present themselves, and they all, I didn't really realize how connected they all were. And it was almost like, I don't know if it was because my symptoms were relieved that I was able to like do these things, or if it was because I was doing these things that my symptoms were relieved. But
Yeah.
it's just interesting. It seems like they're very connected, and it was almost like once I could really um give some time and energy to those things, like everything else just kind of worked itself out, and I just had this like new understanding and this new energy I could put forth into these things that I really wanted. And so, yeah, that's kind of the more part.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was so incredible too. It just watching that change happen. And I love what you're saying about what came first. Is it that you're working on these things that your symptoms got better, and I believe that to be true, but also that like you start to feel better and be able to show up fully and more presently, and that opens the door to
Mhm.
so many other things. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm hearing you say, is that
Yeah.
it just it all goes together, and as one thing starts to open up and improve and you start to feel better and your energy is better, and it just all feeds into all these other areas.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like with your work and things like that, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because I think that's something that, these a lot of the other pieces I see frequently, and with work too, but I love when there's like this there's this bigger thing that's kind of been in the back of your mind, and that seemed to really bloom over the last few months too. Like there was space created for that to for
Mhm.
your work to thrive. Do you want to talk a little bit about your studio?
Yeah, so this is something I've been kind of working on for the past couple years, and it's really just like lost its momentum, especially since, the pandemic and just having to deal with health issues and just like trying to keep track of my energy and my mental and emotional like well-being, thing that has just kind of been put to the side. And with clearing up some of those symptoms and really getting a gauge on my energy and my rhythms and my patterns that naturally occur for me, I was able to really like harness that, and it just gave me this clarity to see what it is that I need to do, like these next steps that I need to take, and like how to take them basically. And so, like, I mean, it just clicked, and I was just like, okay, here we go. And, we worked on like these negative belief patterns, and I mean, so many things, time management, and just all these different pieces that I didn't really like. I knew were a part of it. I just didn't know how to like break it all down. And just like having those pieces and like kind of looking closer at each of those elements, and really kind of fine tuning that like foundation and that the whole like system, gave me just like the ability to kind of zoom in and then like zoom out and and like look at it again in a new perspective, and like I said, just like knowing what I needed to do next. And so my studio is just like I got it just these past couple weeks. I've got it like registered as a business, working on a business license, website, and, getting everything working. I mean, I think we're going to go live next month. And yeah,
Wow,
I'm excited
too
because
soon.
yeah, so soon. It just happens like that. And it's all of a sudden,
Awesome.
it's just like, I get it. I see it, and I have the energy for it. And yeah, I'm excited because we're, offering kind of some different expressive arts, sessions and options and explorations. And yeah, I have this nice upstairs, sanctuary studios of an old church, and it's just a really fun space. And yeah, I'm so excited to see what comes through there. And yeah, it seems like it just started, and I'm like riding the energy, and it feels good.
Yeah, you have just been rolling with it. Like I feel
Mhm.
like in the past month, when as you really started to feel better and your energy kind of shifted and all these things came together, like you're saying, the time and energy management pieces. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to allocate this here, and getting routines and rhythms into place that allowed you to create that space to dedicate towards it. I mean,
Mhm.
it has just really taken off. And yeah, I just want to celebrate that too, because that's such a big thing, for it to have been in the back of your mind for a few years or maybe longer.
Mhm.
And then to really take off like in such a short amount of time is just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so exciting. And it's such an amazing offering for the community too.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like
Yeah.
it it was almost like it was just activated. It's like you
Yeah.
were saying, it was waiting there. It was waiting. And yeah, it feels like like a sort of activation almost, which is kind of a neat way to think about it.
Oh,
It's exciting to
yeah,
know that like
exciting.
yeah, it's exciting to know that this it's only been like what 12 weeks that we've been
Yeah, three
working together.
months. We started 3 months ago. So,
Yeah, and it seems like that just makes me like looking back, it just makes me really excited to know like this all of that happened in that amount of time. So,
and then the opportunity moving forward, like, I think once you're clear and present, like we were kind of working on some of that groundwork, and
mhm,
now you're in this amazing, beautiful space, and like the possibility of what can happen then in the next 3 months when you're
yeah,
already fully have the foundation to create what it is you want in your life right now. So, yeah,
yeah.
it's exciting. So, I'm just curious what you would say. I know, a lot of people are figuring out what to do next, what their next steps are, and feeling that same thing that you were feeling, feeling kind of lost, not knowing what steps to take, what's going to make you feel better, and what's going to kind of bring these pieces together. So, I'm just curious if you have any kind of words of wisdom for someone who's maybe trying to figure out where to go, or if this could be a good fit for them, what
Mhm.
you would say to that person.
Yeah, I feel like, if you're anything like me or experiencing that kind of like like being unsure about some of these pieces in your life and how they fit together and maybe what to do next. Yeah, this feels like this was really supportive for me. In my personal opinion, gut health seems like a huge part of our life and the things that might kind of be out of balance in our life. And so I feel like now that I understand that and I understand how connected everything is with the gut, I feel like as long as I take care of that, like I'll be okay, and it just seems like it almost just seems like a no-brainer at this point. Like anytime anything is kind of off, I'm like, I gotta check in with my gut. And, you've really helped me like kind of come into each week and learn that rhythm and that pattern and that habit of just like checking in with my gut. And yeah, it's been amazing to see. And so I would encourage anyone who is curious about that or wanting to learn more to check in with you or the gut healing health community because it feels just like such a huge piece of the puzzle. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you're bringing that all together, because checking in on your gut and what your body's telling you, but also that inner intuition, right? Like your gut
Hmm.
instincts and what your body is communicating to you. And there are so many pieces, and I think it's so nice that you're kind of laying that out too. That the gut has so many things that it influences and that influence it, and it's not just about food. And what you're saying too about finding the support that's right for you, because that is super important. Of course, like they can check in with me, we can do that free coaching session and really see if it's a good fit. And I want you to find the support that's right for you. So um yeah. And yeah, this was just such a good fit. It's been such an honor, and it's been so exciting watching you and just seeing what's come out of such a short amount of time. So thank you for letting me be part of that. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, it's been a pleasure.